Daniel Slizans, Chris Heria, Daniel Christoph or any calisthenics athlete started thanks to one guy. Maybe not directly, but they were inspired by someone else who was still inspired by the same person. So let's head back to times when none of today's famous athletes lived, when calisthenics wasn't about swing 720, Maltese or one-arm front loader. Let's take a look at a really tough story of our calisthenics father.
I feel good today, huh? After St. Patrick's Day yesterday, I feel good.
Hannibal Lanham, mostly known as Hannibal for King, was born on February 4th, 1978 in Jamaica, Queens, New York. His parents gave him this name after one of the greatest military commanders in history. Most of today's athletes have a good starting point. They have both parents, nutritious food, and many other things, but Hannibal's growing up was quite the opposite. When he was a kid, his father was sentenced to prison for an unknown reason. Hannibal thinks that it was maybe for bank robbery or murder, but he never really knew it for 100%. Lanham then had only his grandmother to raise him, and she did everything she could to save him from ending up on a bad path like his father. She wanted Hannibal to be a preacher, but her effort eventually proved to be useless, and Hannibal, due to poverty and not earning enough money from fixing bicycles, soon fell into dealing drugs. His brother was the same as his father, incarcerated for a few years, and when he came back home, he used to wake up Hannibal early in the morning to go work out, which he didn't like at all. But soon after he fell in love with this style of working out. Typical workout he used to do at the beginning of his journey was called Around the World, which was a type of workout made by prisoners, and it consists of basic exercises like pull-ups, dips or push-ups, for example. No, today is the back day or leg day. They did work out everything. Hannibal, despite being the skinny little guy but always active, climbing on trees, monkey bars and all that, had already a really good basic strength, considering that almost everybody these days can do even a single pull-up. His routine was made of 5 to 8 reps of pull-ups, 15 dips and 20 push-ups, and that was it. You may say this is easy, but repeat this for 10 times. That's a totally different cup of coffee. Hannibal, even though he wasn't inspired by gymnastics, he always loved their muscular upper bodies, and because he read a lot about weightlifting, guys having their knees and everything wrapped up, he didn't want to go this way. So doing calisthenics at the park in his neighborhood was the closest thing to getting gymnast's body and strength, because he didn't have money for the entrance due to his poor financial situation. Hannibal found this exercising like his escape from the real world, from all those troubles and stress. He truly loved it, so you could see him at the park for 7 days a week. He didn't hang out with friends, no parties, and he was even a celibate guy, because he simply believed that at that time he didn't deserve any of this. After a year and a half of this hard work, he already achieved a really good physique, even without caring too much about food. Hannibal is known for eating whatever he wants. He used method that if you eat more, you gotta work out more, so you burn those extra calories. Hannibal also joined a calisthenics group called Bartenders, which used to work out together at the park, spreading calisthenics, but later on the group broke apart and everybody went their own way. After several years of basics Hannibal did, one day his brother told him to try lean a little bit forward while doing dips. He tried it and immediately found out that this is something completely new and really difficult. From then he trained these Superman dips for a while, until somebody told him why he didn't lean all the way. And so he tried it, and that's how Hannibal learned his planche push-ups. No tuck planche, no progressions, it was just a result of all those years of basic exercises. A lot of guys at the calisthenics park were really impressed and always look forward to when Hannibal will do these planche push-ups, because to this point, as mentioned, he did always only basics, and people were really fed up by this, so seeing him doing planche push-ups was something completely out of this world. It's 2008 and Hannibal is now 29 years old. He's unmarried father living in homeless shelter, thinking that that's it, that this is how his life will look like. Until one day happened something that changed his life and also many millions around the whole world. On 22nd of June, one of his friends persuaded him to try out different advanced moves like front lever, planche push-ups, while he will be filming Hannibal. And so they did it. Hannibal did flutter kicks while holding the front lever, couple of muscle ups, his Superman dips, planche push-ups, or even a human flag. 1 month later, Hannibal is just one click away from becoming the calisthenics legend. This video instantly skyrocketed, making Hannibal really famous and often reached for giving help to other people how to get the same physique. Also appearance in videos on famous channels like Bar Titans or Bar Stars, which gathered enormous amount of views, helped him to become even more famous. He managed to start his business by selling his clothes, did many workshops, created many workouts and tutorials for beginners how to start calisthenics, and not forgetting him taking a part as a special guest in 2014 Street Workout World Championship in Kazakhstan. Many famous names like Ed from Bar Stars or Bar Brothers, for example, met with this legend and made famous videos capturing their workouts. Even Chris Hera at the beginning of his journey met with Hannibal for King. Hannibal with his fame was really careful and he didn't propagate everything right away, because he cared about the people who followed him. So the one company he promoted was the Track Nutrition, for which he did even a commercial. Hannibal is now 45 years old and still going after a little over 25 years of calisthenics. Throughout these years, he pretty much never injured himself. He had only herniated disc, which he solved by doing planche push-ups, which caused his lower back muscles being strengthened, and recently he got a pinched nerve while doing a human flag. He's living a happy life now, having his own house, enjoying time with his daughters, and still inspiring the new generation to start working out, because he always loved to see children try his stuff at the park, and that's also his motivation. Hannibal proved that no matter what your background is, it doesn't matter as long as you are committed to a goal. Lennon was a poor kid growing up and was poor until his early 30s, but he still had a champion mentality which people everywhere noticed, and thanks to that mentality he got the worldwide recognition he deserved. Hannibal for King was the guy who started up the whole calisthenics, and we can only hardly imagine how the calisthenics would look like if his famous video would have never existed. With that said, Hannibal for King is the calisthenics father of all of us.